Hey, it's Josh, and here we are at Duneland Records. I thought I'd take a little bit of all of our time and show you around the studio we have here. Talk about some of the gear we have. Talk about maybe a little bit of music, what we've done in here, what we hope to do in the future, and just give you a little taste of of really the concept of what our ideal studio is here at Duneland Records. So, as a reference, we're located here in Northwest Indiana, about 40 or 50 miles outside of Chicago. A lot of other really good bands in the area that you know people should be on the lookout for. But we are in the area of the Indiana Dunes, so that is referenced with Duneland Records. We are right here at the lakeshore of the National Park of the Indiana Dunes. So I think what we'll do first is we'll just take a quick little circle around the space, point out a couple of the interesting rigs that, at least I think are interesting and I've collected over the years of myself playing and putting together this studio. So first cool thing that I like to point out is I am a fan of Sun equipment, so you will see quite a bit of it as we walk around here. This is, as many of you probably would know, this is like an early '83 Sun concert bass. Really very powerful. I'm not really, super gearhead, geekhead, but I do know this thing has got a lot of backbone to it. Love it. I love the Sun gear. Also, we play out of this acoustic sometimes above the solid state. I like that one. I like this one a lot. Over here, this is a funny one. One of those brands I never saw before. Walked into a pawn shop, essentially. And this is what I call our R2D2 speaker. It was very inexpensive. It's an EMC G450. Certainly look it up, find out. For some reason, Franklin Park, Illinois is catching the beat, but this is a strange one. That's also, I think, from the late 70s, early 80s. Simple Fender Sun cabinet. This is also very nice. A rig that I do play often myself. This is also an early 80s Sun concert lead, which I really like, solid state, and I am not afraid to play solid state. I do like solid state at times, but we will walk over here, and here we have, this is my personal rig that I play in my band's band Pure Pilot, you may be familiar with. So what we have here is a really nice custom Fender cabinet. It's got the 4x12 greenbacks on them, and when I say greenbacks, I say it because that's what I hear are really good. So I'm sure many of you know what the greenbacks are. Along with this is about a 68 or 69 Sun Solaris. I've had this for ages. I love it. I bought this from the Emperor speaker cabinet people. For you, those who like or follow Emperor, this was something that I bought from them way back in the years. I love it. It's a very simple piece of equipment and rely mostly on my footboard for a lot of the sounds. This is my guitar rig that I generally will play. I have others as well. I generally have Les Pauls, ranging from the standards to the customs. This one here is just one of my more recent ones. I love it. It's beautiful. It's a 1983 Gibson. I think that does make it the Nolan era. Beautiful. Bought it in Australia on my last trip there, and I love it. It's a really beautiful guitar. Sorry. All right, so here's where we get into the bones of what we're doing here at Duneland Records. So, as I played music for over the years, one of the things I actually found most enjoyable about it was recording the bands. And of course, like everybody else, it started with the 4-track Tascam, and making its way up as you start to accumulate gear. But what I really enjoyed more than anything, especially going to live shows, is the sound of live recordings. Not to say that studio produced records aren't valuable and have their purpose, but for me what I really enjoyed was the simplicity of the recording, and to see if I can get a recording that sounds exactly the way the band sounds like in the room. So with that with that said, growing up when I did in the 70s and in the 80s, I remember watching a lot of cool concerts that were in studio concerts. Small amount of people in there, just recorded 100% live and played live in the room as well. Um, and that was something that always stuck with me as far as really seeing the purity, of the music. Watching bands like, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, and other great bands of that era doing these in studio concerts really impressed me probably more than anything. So, with that idea, kind of brought the idea of Duneland Records, where it would be more that thrown back to that old school in studio concert, where we would bring in bands that we like. Obviously, we have lots of friends here in the Northwest Indiana area that are really good bands, and also, but not just keeping it to that, but also bands from Chicago and possibly even touring acts to be able to come on through here and lay down a few songs. We film it, as you can see, along with the audio. We do have the OC camera system, which we can have up to 4 cameras, active recording video of the concerts as well. And basically, the simple setup is that I keep it pretty simple. That's the way I always liked it. Trying to make this simple and easy as I can for both myself and for the recording purposes, because I think at the end of the day, the more simple it is, the most real and authentic of a version you're going to get of the song. So we just simply do this on 8 tracks. I mean, I come into a Focusrite. That is my, I forget what they call it, not my MIDI, but my intermediate point. Typically we'll have 4 mics on the drums. We got 2 condenser mics. One typically on the snare, and one goes on into the bass. And then both the bass go direct, and back behind the drum kit, I have a DI box. So basically, the guitar also goes direct to ultimately into the Pro Tools. But at the same time, to be able to keep that live experience, because we would like to have people come on in here, small, friends of the bands. And actually be able to hear the concert as well, instead of musicians just having headphones on. And fortunately, over all these years that I've been kind of doing this, I've gotten better and better at actually recording fully live bands live in the studio, tracking it on 8 tracks. And so that's kind of the concept, is to bring back that old school studio concert where we watch a cool concert all together live and have a nice production of it as well. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I really do appreciate everybody who's been following us at Duneland Records, saying the kind words, and we really do our best to follow everybody back and support what everybody else is doing. So as we say here at Duneland Records, we record 100% live, so you better play it right. Do.